What is up, YouTube? Today we're going to be reviewing Revenge of the Fallen Constructicon Studio Series Hightower. I hope you all enjoy this video, and I'm going to try to make this a pretty fast review, which I know y'all are already thinking, oh, Levi, you've said that the last 7 times, but I am determined to make this a fast review. Also, my sinuses are whooping my butt today. So if my voice is somewhat messed up in some parts, maybe I seem like I'm out of breath, I pardon is because I cannot breathe because the sinuses are attacking my lungs and every other part of my body. Sinuses suck. Anyways, let me just fix something on here quick. Anyways, I hope you all enjoy this video, and let's get right into it. So as you can see, we are going to be reviewing the Deluxe Class Hightower Studio Series Constructicon. So he turns to his alt mode is a construction vehicle crane crawler. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. I tried to get at least aware of all of the names of what they turn into. I think that this is called a crane crawler. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm right. We'll never know unless somebody in the comments says otherwise, as I'm sure somebody will. Anyways, though, so this is a very simplistic alt mode, I would say. It's very neat, but out of all of the others, it's not as abstract or visually appealing to just look at. Like, I think that Mixmaster definitely has a handle on that. Even Skipjack has a handle on that. Scrapper, Scavenger. This guy is a very nice alt mode. It does its job. It looks like a high crawler. It looks like a crane crawler. It acts like a crane crawler. It moves like a crane crawler. It does the job right. But compared to the others, there's not as many nice details as there is in the alt mode. Like, I think Skipjack does a very good job of that. Even Scrapper does a really good job of that. So, not to say, though, that there aren't details. There are definitely some. Like, this is a very nice silver that the treads have. There is a very nice gloss black there, too. As you can see, we have some ladders going on here, some shelves. I think this might be like a vent or maybe a window. I honestly do not know. We have some details right here from when the head transforms. Some black right there. Another ladder. I mean, there's a lot of details here. This is very nice too. I like this. Even the crane is very well built. Man, that looks very, very nice. I mean, it doesn't not have details. Like, it does a good job at it, but compared to his brethren, he is probably the most lackluster vehicle, I would say. Not saying that I don't love him. He's still awesome and an amazing alt mode. It looks super accurate to the real thing. But compared to the others, he's kind of meh in his alt mode. Now in bot mode, I don't know about that. But we'll get on to that later in the review. So right now, let's put him into his combined mode, which is a very few and very long 4 steps. That's like his combined mode is pretty nothing at all. I'm not even going to basically go in depth of how everything connects. I mean, it is very, very, very. I'm done. It's very, very simple. I mean, it is a very, very simple combined mode. Now, this is not going to be just Devastator's arm, but this is how I have it looking right now because I do not have scrap metal. So how the arms of Devastator works, and let's actually pull Devastator in here for a second. I'm going to try not to show off Devastator because I want to talk about him in full once I'm done reviewing these little guys. But as you can see, so Scrapper does a really good job of being an arm for Devastator. I mean, he has some really cool like claws going on down here. He's got 2 big old fingers. I mean, it does a good job of looking and feeling like a solid hand and arm. While on the other hand, Hightower by himself is mediocre at best for the hand. Now, how the whole combined gimmick works basically is that let's just flip over Devastator to his other side. How it works though is that, as you can see, Hightower connects into here, so he's the one that connects to Devastator's arm. But because he is only a deluxe class, he can't get as large as Scrapper can. So they decided to make it to where scrap metal and Hightower combined together, which is another figure that sadly I do not have right now. So right now we ended up having this deformed hand, but the Scrapper and the Hightower hand looks really awesome on Devastator from some pictures that I found. So I'm pretty hyped for that, but I hate that they made it to where 2 Deluxes are on one hand and then Voyagers on the other. It just looks kind of funky to me. And even when they are combined, one hand is so much more like articulated and detailed than the other, and it just kind of throws me for a loop. Like, I know that Devastator did have some weird arm stuff going on because you did see Hightower and another figure combined, but I don't feel like that it warranted 2 deluxe classes. I don't know. I mean, maybe I just don't know. I just feel like that the proportions are kind of off once you see the 2 arms next to each other. But that's only going off of images and other people's review. We're just going to have to see ourselves when we review Hightower. Or, sorry, when we review the whole Devastator combined. So, let's move from combined mode to bot mode, because I wanted to go to bot mode last, because I think that this is where this figure shines. So, basically what you're going to do is that you're going to want to leave these just like this, and you're going to untab them right here. Same thing for this side, and as you can see, this is just going to disconnect, because the only parts that hold in transformation are here, here, and here. Then you're just going to want to straighten the, just hold these out just like that, and just swivel everything out to about here. Go ahead and make a lot of room, because this is a very tight section here. You're going to want to just go ahead and just pull up his arms, again, making clearance, just like that. And then from here, you're going to want to try to pull at this panel right here while pulling this back. So I recommend getting like right here and just going like that. And that was probably the cleanest way that I've ever pulled that out. Every other time something gets stuck, something clicks, something just does not work properly. So now that has worked so well, we'll just pull this back and we'll deal with this part in a second. You're going to want to pull these panels out just like that until you have Hightower looking like a very angry crab. Then you're going to want to just pull these to the side and just swivel these down. Again, this is not going to be how the final leg is conformed or how it's formed, but we're just making clearance. You're going to want to take this little tab right here and put it into this hole right here, and it's a very, very tight connection. And the classic here is incredibly thick, so don't worry about breaking it all. I mean, it's very solid. Let's go ahead and pull these suckers down real quick. Let's go ahead and finish his legs. So just swivel these suckers to the front. And then from here, this is how I do it. You can do it how you want. It is your toy. Go ahead and take it like this, and then swivel this that way, swivel this all the way around, and bam. We now have one Hightower leg done. And then very quickly, just do it to the other. Now, there have been other ways that I've seen people do it. I've seen some people do it like this way, perhaps. I think this looks okay, to say the least. I've seen some people do this. I don't like it, and he's not very stable in this. This is the only way that I've found that makes it really stable in the legs and makes it look very neat and clean. So, if you can find something else, try it, but this is how I do it. Now we can go ahead and pull down these cute little dinosaur arms. Now you're just going to grab the head out here. Now, I don't recommend just pulling out the head. You will probably get it out, but you'll probably pull this out and cause stress marks at it. I bought this used, and I think there's already stress marks, so just be careful. I recommend getting your fingernail back here and just kind of pushing up this black piece like that, and then just getting your finger behind and just pulling that sucker out. And it still fell out anyways. Wow. And then that is it for his front. Let's go back here. And because of combined mode, I wanted to show this off. Because of combined mode, there is a hinge right here, so you can just basically break that off and push this back, but they have allowed us to fill up his back a lot more. You're going to want to take these 2 tabs right here and put them into those 2 holes right there, and that's going to solidify the back, while at the same time pushing this up and locking this into place, so this can no longer go down. Now, if you want to have a little bit more of a cleaner crane going over Hightower, I would recommend, just like I said earlier, breaking this piece off and just pushing that back to there, and it makes it look more transformed, like it's moving back here. And I think that provides a very cool yet compact look for Hightower. So let's just kind of get him posed up real quick, and this is the robot mode for Constructicon Studio Series Revenge of the Fallen, Hightower. I like it. I like it a lot. I think that the Bayverse designs were very abstract, and they did their job well of looking like alien robots. Now, there is a huge common denominator between the Constructicons in that a lot of them, for some reason, have, like, snake faces. And you can really see it, like, here. That he has, like, a snake neck, and, like his face looks almost like a serpent. Skipjack is a very good example of that. Let's bring him in here. Let's look at that only a face a mother could love head sculpt. He looks like a snake. Even the back of his head. Like, all this looks like a snake. I don't know why they all look like a snake, but they do. Mixmaster looks like a snake in the face. Scavenger looks like a snake in the face. Scrap Metal, Scrapper, Long Haul, they all look like snakes. I don't know what's going on. Ain't none of them turning into a snake, which would be really cool, I think. But they all look like snakes. I have no idea why. I've heard someone say they look like insects and all that, but no, they look like snakes. For some reason, for some ungodly reason, they are all ancestors to snakes or something. Who knows? Maybe that's in the Transformers lore. Anyways, though, so now that we have Skipjack and Long Haul together, let's go ahead and show off a couple of size comparisons. So, as I just said, this is Skipjack, which is a Voyager class, and will probably be the next one I review, because he is a pretty neat part of the figure. I was trying to go from, like, simplest to most complex, the basics to the better ones, and I feel like that out of all of them, Hightower is definitely the simplest, to say the least. So yeah, that's probably he'll probably be in the next review, because out of all of them, this little dude's the simplest. Well, not little, but this guy's the simplest probably. So that is him next to Skipjack. Here he is next to Skybound Optimus. This is a figure that came out in the last, like, 4 years, I think. So old versus new, pretty nice comparison, I would say. Here he is next to the body of Devastator. I did not want to show that off too much, but you'll see a little bit of it, I guess. As you can tell, Hightower is a very small boy, but he is a very fundamental boy because he creates the arm. So, yeah. We'll throw up another comparison just because I did a stop motion with him recently, which I recommend y'all check out. Transmetal Megatron next to Hightower. Bada bing, bada boom. He's a big old boy. And just for random figure, Starscream. Yeah, there you go. I don't know, just all the figures I had on deck, and this video is getting too long, so Kingdom Starscream. Yay. Anyways, though, so let's get on to articulation now. As you can tell, Hightower is he's a pretty, I smacked the table with the chair with the camera. Alright. Anyways, as you can tell, Hightower is a pretty large deluxe class. I mean, he's a big old boy. And he feels really good, too. Like, hefty. Like, the plastic feels really nice on him, I think. Whew, these sinuses are getting me, y'all. I gotta hurry up with this review so I can take some medicine. Anyways, though, so let's get on to articulation. Articulation, that you have a hinge right here, which allows this to move all the way down like that. All the way up like that. You have another hinge right here, which allows him to move all the way down. He can smell his own arms and go, whee! He can look all the way up, about that far. There is a hinge under the head and then a ball joint, so if you're going just for the ball joint, you can swivel all the way around, and that is practically it. That is a very, very low-cut ball joint, so there's not going to be a lot of movement in that ball joint. But due to the way that the hinge works, you do have a very wide, not a very wide, a very nice way to look down that far and way to look up that far. And if you mess with the ball joint, you can get him looking kind of side to side, but that's going to be the best you get it, is that one side like that, one side like the other, but you end up just getting like a weird side eye. So I wish that they would have cut this a little bit better to where the ball joint could have looked a little bit to the left, like Skipjack, where he could look left, like, pretty well, or my left, at least. I wish that they would have, like, taken, like, let's just transform this quick. I wish they would have taken this bit right here and kind of did it like this, and then do the ball joint kind of in there, like in here. Because I don't know, I like the way that Skipjack's articulation in his head is very well animated, and I wish that they would have copied this into this practically. I think that would have made Hightower 10 times better, just because more articulation, that's never a bad thing. So in his T-Rex arms, they are just on a friction hinge. So they can go up that much and down that much. The leg is at a swivel, the leg or the arm. I don't know what's going on here. You can turn this all the way around. There's a hinge right here that goes out that much, in that much. There's a swivel right here that can go all the way around. There is a swivel right here that can go that far back and that far forward, just like that. There is a hinge right here that can go in that much and out that much. So he does have some pretty nice ankle pivot, I would say, if you can move his arms right. And then, as you may have already seen, there is a pin right here that allows his whole foot to move. So you can get him into some pretty cool poses. Because of the way that his body is, though, they're not going to look very dynamic. And because he literally can't look left and right, you're probably better off just going for a vanilla pose. Like, let's try to get him in a dynamic pose. Let's get a box in here or something. Let's try to get a dynamic pose real quick. So I want to get him, like, peering at humans or something. You can definitely get him into some, like, creepy crawler modes, I would say. And that looks pretty good. Like, that's going to be probably the most dynamic you can get out of Hightower. But even then, he's still a cool little guy, and I like him. I mean, he's definitely one of those that I'm going to pick up and just transform nonstop, because his transformation's fun, his articulation's good, and he's not, and this is what I was talking about earlier about, like, his bot mode. His bot mode, I absolutely love. I don't really care what people think about the Michael Bay movies, about everything look like chickens and chicken legs and this and that. I love the Michael Bay movies. I think the designs were absolutely incredible. The movies themselves, the plot may not have been the best, but you can't lie and say that these designs are bad, because you'd be lying. These designs are just so cool, I think, and they put such a twist on the original G1 look. I mean, we went from having a green block man called Scavenger to this guy, Long Haul, who looks like a weird thingy, anteater, snake, crab. I don't even know what he is. All I know is that I love the little guy. So, that's practically it for the Long Haul review. Let's kind of get the cast in here real quick. And then we will do the outro. This right here is the current Constructicon cast that we have, as you can see. Very, very hyped. And I'm going to go ahead and spoil it. The one that I have ordered is actually not going to say it, because I decided I want to keep that a surprise. But anyways, though, I'm very excited for it, and hopefully I can figure them out. I'm having quite a hard time finding these guys because, you know, they're only about, I would say, 10 years old. So they are incredibly hard to find. I would probably have better luck just buying the box set at this point, which, if y'all didn't know, is $1,000 here in the U.S. That's the only price I can find it for, almost. So, if y'all have enjoyed this video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know what y'all think. I really like this idea of doing all the Constructicons, but if y'all don't want me to do just some old Transformers from the Bayverse that apparently nobody likes, then I won't. But I love these guys, and I think that they did not get as much credit as they did then, and I think they deserve that credit now, because even compared to 2024 standards, and we've had some pretty good releases even so far, and 2023, which was a year of pretty good releases. I mean, we had a lot of cool things over these last, I would say, like 3 years at least. We've had some awesome releases. I think these guys still hold their own. Not saying that I would not love another Studio Series version of this. I think that if they could push this into Legacy somehow, I think that would be absolutely awesome. We need to get Joe Hasbro on that now. A Legacy version of Studio Series Devastator. That would be sick. Anyways, though, I hope y'all have enjoyed this video. Make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Make sure to check out the new stop motions that I have done recently. And even though I haven't been posting as much, make sure to check out the gaming channel, Levi Gaming SM. Well, it's either that or Levi SM Gaming, but Levi Stop Motion Gaming. Thank you all for watching. Goodbye.